So we're going to start today, the main session today, by going, we always like to start these presentations with understanding what your expectations are of today. So I'm going to let Tom Thibodeau kind of lead the way on your expectations for today before we go ahead and introduce our first speaker.
As we mentioned earlier, your time and your energy are valuable resources. What is it that everyone wants from us? Our time. Our spouse, our children, our co-workers, our friends, our employers, our time. It's very valuable. So we have this short period of time. What's going to make today valuable for you? What would you like to walk away with in the next 2 hours and say, this was very worth the time and energy that I put into coming over here this morning? So just talk with the people at your table. What are your expectations? What would you like to walk away with?
Okay. Just raise your hand and repeat if the question doesn't come across adequately, I'll push it up to Tom and help you out. Who do we have with, what are you looking for today? You came here for some reason. What are you looking for? Please.
At the table we're looking for an idea.
Looking for an idea on how to serve the people in our company. Excellent. You'll have a bushel basket. Please.
Being re-energized.
Re-energized. Yes, sir.
We talked about us being able to extend this to the youth of our community. Push us down.
Extend it to the youth. We don't push things down, though. No, but I understand. Excellent.
We have some new people, first timers, so they want to really know more about what this group is and what, so they're not quite sure what's expected today, so want to learn more about that. And they also want to know kickbacks that are practical ideas that you can implement tomorrow.
What is this group about? We're going to answer that as soon as this little question, or the expectations are established. And how do you do it?
And how about this? Not wait till tomorrow. How about this afternoon?
Maybe before you leave the room. What are you expecting? I'm going to fill that tablet up at least. We want to be in sync. Please.
What's the culture of servant leadership?
The culture of servant leadership? Ah, that's very interesting. Excellent. Thank you. Please.
Some of us who are new were asking you, do you find out about future events and what does that look like?
How do you find out about future events, or how does it look like?
If we're at the servant leadership program today, is there a next step?
There is, every
And
week.
If we do that, what does that look like?
Okay, excellent. You will get that before the session is over for sure. Everyone, I don't know how you got here, but if you didn't get an email from us, it means you're not on the e-blast list. And be sure to write down on the table out here what your email address is, just to double check it. Students, everyone, please. Okay, that's pretty good, Tom. Okay. He doesn't need a mic. What is this?
Dr. Martin Luther King says to be a servant leader, you need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. So when people are looking, well, what are the ideas? There's no recipe. There's no cookie cutter. We always want to do what's a quick idea? A heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. Understand this. John McHugh talked about from 2004 to 2016, 12 years before you saw those kind of tangible results. Servant leadership is an organic process. It can start today, but it's not going to have quick fruit. To be re-energized, I think we're always re-energized by goodness. Always re-energized by goodness. Good people doing good work together, you may be exhausted, but there's a good kind of exhaustion, isn't it? when you recognize that what you have done is done, you've done for a higher purpose. To extend to our youth, well, the young people in this room are extending it back. There's a mutuality that takes place. The energy of young people, the idealism. Servant leadership can only be practiced if you believe in altruism. Can't be self-serving at all, and our young people show us that all the time. When people say, oh, young people these days, who have we sent to Iraq and Afghanistan for the last 20 years? So you begin to recognize how is it that we bridge the gap. And what happens is this, I would just like to mention this. We are the only age-segregated society in human history. We are separate. Where is it that elders and younger people get together and exchange their expertise, their knowledge, and their energy with each other? It is so significant. So again, thank you, Deanna, for bringing so many of our young people together in this room today. Practical, I think, well, in terms of from Southwest Airlines and Quick Trip, and certainly in terms of Mary's life, you got some very practical ideas. The culture of servant leadership, it takes time to build a culture. Pay attention to the rituals. Pay attention to what is it that they celebrate. What did you recognize when Bob was talking? All the different ways in which they celebrate people every day. And he said even after 5 years, kicktails, I have no idea what that is. It sounds rather exciting. And but it hasn't gotten old. They've kept it fresh. John, every year they meet in November, all 18,000. And don't you go around to every one of the stores, don't you?
Districts.
All the districts. So you're traveling a 3-state radius. It's not just an email that's sent out. It's not expedient. You have to have that face-to-face time. And then we'll talk a moment about future events. This is one of the things I would say, this is my observation. Servant leadership is becoming popular right now, which scares me. Once an idea becomes popular, it loses its power. And here it is. If servant leadership is in your vocabulary, but it's not in your heart, you will do other people great harm. And that's why all of you in our discussions were very careful about the language that you used, hoping that it would reflect authentically what is it we believe and what do we aspire to live. Wonderful conversations.